What do you mean you're done?
I'm done. I'm done dating. I'm done trying to meet someone. I'm done with humiliation. I can't anymore. I wish I had a good reason why I'm always striking out. But I don't. It's me. Most people find their other half. And I just have to wake up and accept already that maybe there is no other half for this.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. For today's video, guys, we'll take a look at one TikTok, and just one, because I've been driving all day and I'm tired as hell. But I just can't go to sleep in my sarcophagus without witnessing what's going on with the dating world and sharing it with you, gentlemen. So how about we cover a channel favorite, this one right here. Some people tell me, guys, that they see this one more often than their own mother, and I get that, but her content is just golden. And for our ready story, we'll take a look at a cheating ex-wife, and then your 4,000-year-old pal is going to share a story with you, so we can have a discussion with that. But now, guys, without further ado, let's get started.
I am forever ruined in dating. Like, forever ruined. So if you watched my last video, I shared my 1 year update on the dating apps, and I shared at the end that I have met someone. Let me just tell you, though, a few of the things that this man has done that it made the whole year worth it. There's been a few times. I have only known him now for 11 days. 11.
Oh wow, better love story than Twilight. I love how she starts the video saying that she's forever ruined, and I cannot agree more. But it's so funny because this video is titled The Sweetest Man, and if you check on this woman's TikTok, it's like every 2 weeks, sorry about that, Windows, shut up please. Every 2 weeks, she posts a video saying, "Oh, I met Prince Charming. No guys, this one's for real. Sisters, get your dresses ready. We're having a wedding over here." And then you never hear about that man again, right? It's like throughout the year, you'll have 20 to 24 perfect men, the perfect husband, get the bride ready, and then you never hear about that man again. So absolute ruin, guys, of dating life. But now let's see the sweetest man, perfect husband, number 38.
11 days. We've seen each other 5 times in 10 days. We both work full time. I have 3 kids. We live an hour and a half apart. And I just had my kids for 5 nights in a row. And we still saw each other 5 out of 10 days. If they wanted to, they would. It's a mutual reciprocal thing. But he just does the sweetest things. I could go on and on, but I almost feel guilty about it. But a few things. He is an hour and a half away.
Before she continues, the reason why she should feel guilty about it, and by the way, that Windows sound you heard was actually from her computer, it's not mine. But the reason why she should feel guilty, and if I wasn't as tired, I would be more emotional about it, is that these women, guys, they get on the internet, they say this bullcrap of if he wanted to, he will. They found a gem of concentrated wisdom. What happens to the men that want to and do when they are younger? That they get dismissed, right? The men that buy flowers and they, "Oh, do you want me to drive you over? Do you want me to do this for you, queen? I'll do this and I'll do that." These men, guys, they couldn't get less attention, right? These guys that are the perfect husband, they get more attention from a rock than from these women. Being a gentleman doesn't get you anywhere. And now that they are in their 40s, she's a single mother, she has a body count larger than your bank account number. Now she's like, "Oh, if he wanted to, he would." What? These women, guys, they literally do it the opposite way. Instead of focusing on the guys that want to and do, when they are younger, they dismiss them to go for the bad boys, and now that they are 40, they're trying to act all hopeless romantic about it. All right, the clever guys are not doing the whole gentleman thing anymore.
A few things. He is an hour and a half away. Just the other night, I'm like, I've got to just go run some errands. And he literally checks my radar and is like, you should probably wait 20 minutes before the storm comes, or let the storm pass. I'm just like, oh, had no idea a storm was coming. When he was over at my house, he noticed what kind of...
Oh, wait, that was it? He told you to be careful about the weather? Wow, guys, wow, I've never seen a more romantic man in my life. Wow. Now, the thing he did was, yes, cute, but again, guys, think of your friends, think of the men you know. Like, there are probably guys in the dozens that do this and more for the girl they like. And what do they get in return? A bunch of crap. That's what they get. They get nothing, guys. Like, there are men that are, you know, far beyond that point of gentleman behavior, and they just don't get noticed by these women, right? Now she's trying to act like this thing that he did was life-saving. And madam, there are men out there willing to risk their lives for the woman they like, and they get nothing, right? So again, I'm quite cynical about this whole thing. I don't care that you met the sweetest man. Don't be like him, guys. Like, don't be the man that is going to pay for other people's fun. All right, look at this one, for probably 100 guys, and I'm probably lowballing it, but let's say 100 guys, this woman has been their S3X doll. That's what she's been, and she was okay with it. She was the equivalent of an S3X toy for these chads. They had their way with her, they had their fun, they didn't have to buy McDonald's fries to get between her legs, right? They didn't have to do anything, guys. And now you come around here, checking the weather, treating her like she's a princess. She doesn't deserve it, guys. And you don't deserve to be this woman's entertainer and to have to work for what other men got for free. I mean, think of how much of a loser you have to be to do that. Like, you're literally paying for something that other people get for free. It's embarrassing, guys. Honestly, this woman, she just doesn't deserve it. Let's continue now.
Of bushes. I had just moved into my house a couple months ago, so I didn't know what was planted, but he knew what kind of flower plants I had and what they were, and then told me, like, when they bloom, he reminded me to go cut some off because they'll be dead soon, and put them in a vase just to enjoy them while I had them. So the other night I, had my girls, but they had Girl Scouts for like 2 hours, but I was only home for like 90 minutes. He drove, we live an hour and like 20 minutes apart, hour and a half if you have to make a stop. So about 3 hours round trip. And he drove 3 hours round trip to see me for 90 minutes. He made sure last night when I went to go see them that he had my favorite coffee creamer. And not only that, he came over on Saturday night and took me on a date. And I am super healthy and I chew really clean gum, and he had offered me some gum and I was like, no, I don't chew that gum. This is what I chew. No big deal.
Yeah, so let me just pinpoint a few things. Difference between this man and the chads that this woman has been seeing. He drives an hour and a half to get to her place. Difference with the chads. She is the one that gets up and drives 2 hours towards the chad. Difference between this man. He buys her favorite coffee creamer, something like this. The chads, they cream her. That's the difference, guys. Just if you are this type of man and you don't want to play the game according to these women's rules, I'm absolutely fine with that. If you want to be a gentleman, you want to be a romantic, you want to be a Don Juan, perfect, guys. But do it for the right woman, right? There are billions of women on this earth, guys. Just pick one that is not a single mother in her 40s, all right? and go find a woman that will appreciate those things because she appreciates you, because she appreciates love, because she thinks of the future. Don't do it for a woman that is looking for quote-unquote love as a last resort. This is her last resort. She's already had her fun, rode the carousel, and now she's like, all right, let me find a nice retirement plan. Don't be that. It's so demeaning. Was the word? Degrading. It's so degrading.
When I went over there, he had got my favorite gum. I could literally go on and on. Like on and on. And honestly, the first night that I met him, people on this app, they're like, oh, I bet you get all these free dinners. He did not spend one penny on me because I was already out with some girlfriends. I matched with them on an app and invited them out to come say hi. I don't drink. So we just kind of sat by ourselves. My girlfriend had some other people she was talking to. So I, with him, went to a different section of the bar and we just sat and chatted, and he absolutely offered me a drink, but I did not take one because I don't drink. I was a little chilly because it was outside, but I had on long sleeves, and he did offer me his jacket like 3 times, but I was like, no.
So she said this guy didn't pay a penny. We find out it's by coincidence. The next date, he's gonna buy her something. Also, didn't he buy coffee creamer? Didn't he drive an hour and a half to meet you? That's paying money for gas. Like, he's paying to see you. Yeah, maybe you didn't get a drink. Good job on that. He's still paying, right? Don't pay for these sorts of women. And also about this guy, you're never gonna hear from him again. All right, this perfect man, guys. Oh, he's so sweet. Go to her TikTok. You're not gonna see another one talking about him. It's over, guys. Oh, he's so nice. Yeah, bye. Don't care about you. She's thinking about the next best thing already. Holy crap.
I'm not going to make this man sit here in a t-shirt while I have a long sleeve shirt on and his jacket. But he offered. And while we were sitting there, I don't know what it is. It's not even something you can recreate or like teach. But I like a little playful banter. But sometimes, you know how your quirkiness just doesn't match their quirkiness? But everything is just like in sync. And anytime I'd say something like playful, he would just light up and smile at the most appropriate time for me. And it was just like the most wholesome thing ever. And that's like the moment I knew, like, I have to know this man. And he has been just like the sweetest. And I could go on and on, but those are just a few of the things. So if you're in that dating world and you're on the apps and it's just been chaos and crazy and super underwhelming, just keep going. Just keep going.
Yep, just keep going, ladies. And when you're in your 40s, single mother, maybe you'll find him. Now, I found one that I'm not gonna keep, but hey, you can find someone. Yeah, ladies, just keep doing that. Keep working until your 70s. Feeding your 7 cats with silly names, and you're gonna find him. You know, in fact, I think he's right on the corner. On the corner of your 80s, he's waiting right behind it, right? Alright, guys, enough about this woman. I'm really tired, so I have no energy to speak and laugh and make fun of these women, but you're gonna imagine it, alright, that I'm making extreme fun of her. Now, guys, let's move on to our article titled Cheating Ex-Wife. Why is it that when you're in a marriage that my ex-wife 27 cheats on me 37, a whole marriage? So this guy probably she cheated on you because your grammar sucks ass. Like, I'm sorry, man, but you talk like a, I don't know, 2nd grader. Anyway, so they were in a marriage. She cheated on him. He's 37, she's 27, and she cheated during the whole marriage. And this is after having 2 children, never really wanting to be married. So this is talking about the woman, wants to get a divorce, tries committing unaliving in the end, sends suggestive photos to a married man for months, So this guy was aware of all that, talks to multiple other men the whole 3.5 years, and then 2.5 months after she moves out of state, she finally realizes she messed up more than she can imagine. She lost her kids and me, and it didn't matter for this long, as she's screwing around with multiple people where she lives now. Wants to talk out of nowhere to tell me she misses me, hoping I'll tell her the same. She cheated on me in all 3 relationships, 2 before we got married. So this guy is talking about himself, right? Apparently they broke up and got together again 3 times, and she cheated on 2 times before they got married, and of course in their 3rd relationship, the marriage. Ends up being exactly like every other ex-girlfriend I had in the past. What the hell is wrong with people when they have a good thing? Here ends the article. Now some of you guys think that I'm gonna blame the woman. And yes, she has more red flags than a communist parade, absolutely. But I'm not gonna blame her, I'm gonna blame the man. Because this whole foolery is your mistake. Right, let's check on the facts, guys. So, he decides to have 2 kids with this woman and marry her. And this is after they've been in 2 relationships. In 2 of them, she cheated. Like, she cheated on this guy 2 times. He got back with her after the first time, and she cheated again. And then he said, you know what? This time when we get back, let me actually marry her and have 2 children. This guy is absolutely nuts. Then she divorces him. She tries committing unaliving. During the marriage, she was sending suggestive pictures to a man for months, and this guy was aware of it, right? He knew about this. He didn't do anything, didn't stand his ground at all. Just absolute simp behavior. She talked to multiple other men during the whole 3.5 years that they were in a marriage, and this guy was aware of it. All right, he just, I don't know, didn't do anything, didn't care, didn't know what to do, didn't care to care. And then she moves out, yada yada. The only good thing, the only redeemable quality about this man is that when she tells him she misses him, he doesn't go back to her. This is the only redeeming quality that this man has. And look, guys, I'm being constantly critical towards women because they keep repeating the same mistakes. So I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. This man is to blame. He keeps going back to the same crap, expecting for it to change. This woman cheated on you 2 times, and you decided to get married to her. You're a fool, man. All right. And the biggest red flag about this man is this phrase right here. You ended up being exactly like every other ex-girlfriend I had in the past. So every woman that this guy has been with has cheated on him, and has been a massive red flag. My dude, you are the massive red flag. You are the one who's choosing one bad girlfriend after the other, and you're committing to them. Like, you are insane, my dude. Right? Guys, there are bad people in this world, and it's our duty to dismiss them, right? This is why I put the blame on the man, even though the woman is, yes, he is the victim, right? It's the woman who cheated, the woman who was a red flag, but he is the stupid one. Because if you leave your house unlocked with the door wide open and some thief walks in and steals half your crap, who are you putting the blame on? Are you putting it on the thief because he is a thief? Or are you putting it on the guy who left his house unlocked? He is to blame, right? If you leave your car with the engine running and the key in the lock, and you leave it there for 2 hours, and when you come back you say, oh, the car is not here. Man, these thieves nowadays, you can't even leave your car for 2 hours with the door open and the engine running for 2 hours. You can't even do that, these thieves. It's absurd, guys. It's absurd. It's your responsibility to not deal with these people and select better people, right? So this guy is a massive clown. You deserve your divorce. You deserve this whole thing that has happened to you because you didn't learn after the first 2 times. And in fact, you didn't learn after every bad girlfriend that you've had in the past. All right? So don't be like him, guys. I think 2 times is 1 too many. Look, everyone goes through a bad relationship. It should stay to only 1, right? But now, guys, gather around the fireplace because your 4,000-year-old friend is gonna tell you a story. As I'm gonna put some gameplay. I was traveling, right? I was traveling to another city. By the way, I left my phone. Good thing I didn't leave my head, but I left my phone in my home behind. I left it, guys, and I spent nearly 2 days without a phone. All right, this is probably a world record at this point. I was born, I'm 4,000 years ago, but after my hibernation, I was resurrected nearly the 2000s. So I don't know what it is, Gen Z and late millennial, something like this. My generation doesn't spend more than 10 minutes without the phone, right? So it was a big deal for me, and I think everyone can relate to this. In these times, we have our friends in our phone, we have our bank details, our finances there, we have our socials there, YouTube, entertainment, games, music, everything. So without my phone, I felt like, some 14th century villager or something like this, some farmer from the medieval ages is how I felt. But in the end, it was really good and refreshing, to be away from my phone. And I recall the old ways of living, when I was younger and there were no phones. We will just, go out with your friends, you play around, you take a walk. When you don't have a friend or a person nearby, what you do is you look at the clouds, you look at the flowers, you think about your friends, you think about something funny, you think about your dreams and aspirations, and this is something lost now with the phones. Now, if you don't have anything to do, you just check your phone and there's like 1,000, short attention span things to do there. So it was really refreshing. But that's not the point, guys. The point is related to the channel. I just wanted to mention that what relates to the channel is I was driving and I decided to stop for some sodas because I saw a lot of shops, one nearby, nearby each other. And I stopped there, but after I stopped, I realized they were selling no sodas. They had one refrigerator with like one soda inside that I didn't fancy at the time. So I decided to move away, right? And at that point, some lady, she looked to be in her 60s, appeared from behind my back and told me, hey, what do you want? Let me make you a sandwich. Because she was offering some fast food. And I said, well, what do you offer? And she told me what sandwiches she has, and I really wasn't interested. So I told her, okay, I'm gonna look at the other stores and I'm gonna come back. Which here in Europe where I live, this is like the most polite way to dismiss someone while not being rude, right? Because you don't want to tell them, it doesn't interest me, go F yourself. So you say, well, I'm gonna take a look around and then I'm gonna come back. And so I said that, and she started making like this an annoying noise, and I turned around like, what the hell is going on? And she was looking at me, staring me straight into my eyes, kind of like shaking her head in disapproval, like, you freaking pig, why don't you want to buy from my place? You want to go to some other place? And I was like, dude, leave me be. If I don't want to buy from your stupid little place, don't force me, right? So it really didn't care. I kept looking at her eyes and she backed down, I was like, hey, fight me. You're gonna fight me because I don't want to buy you a sandwich. So anyway, she moved back and I went to some other store. And there was a guy there that told me, hey, what are we eating, bro? So he was in a good mood. And I told him, hey, do you know that woman from down the street? And guys, he grabbed his shirt and he was like, God save us from that woman. And I laughed. I asked, why? What's going on with that woman? And he said, this woman has been divorced 5 or 6 times. Her last man was younger than her daughter. And I, at that point, I asked him, why do these men commit to that woman? She's not even attractive. And he told me, well, do you give her 75 years? Because she is 75. And I told him, well, no, she looks 60, right? So she was really well preserved for her age. And when she was younger, guys, she was probably extremely attractive, right? And this guy told me that she is extremely manipulative. She is really confrontational. She like makes fights with clients all the time. She likes to fight. She's manipulative, confrontational, all that. And I already saw that right after I told her that I'm not really interested in her sandwich. And by the way, this man also told me that not only has she been divorced 5 to 6 times, but each time she has stolen from these men. Like, while in the marriage, she has manipulated them into buying her apartments or houses or cars or gifting her money. And then in the divorce, she has also taken things from them. And he told me that she has like 5 to 6 houses across the country in different cities. She has a business on her own, you know, well, of her own, not on her own. This woman, guys, the extent of her work is probably making 2 sandwiches, right? Like, this woman hasn't worked for none of that. She owns like 6, 7 houses across the country. All of that stolen from these men. You know, she manipulated her way into getting these places, and she took them from divorce. Just a massive witch. You cannot talk more than 10 seconds with her without it breaking into a fight, right? Extremely bitter and unpleasant women. And these men went through all of that. Why? Because she was attractive. Massive simps. Don't be like them. So this woman, guys, just made me think of how a lot of men fall into the trap of a woman's beauty, right? When a woman is beautiful, a lot of guys lose their minds and go straight for her. You have to control yourselves, right? Mind over matter is what you have to do. A man that controls his needs and urges, like gluttony, lust, a man that controls that, guys, is the most powerful man. There's nothing more weak than a man who cannot control himself, who cannot control his impulses, right? Because that man allows to be controlled by everything. Every whim that the destiny may take, he bends over, right? He bends to it. He is meek and malleable. So if you can control your lust and you can see past a woman's attractiveness into her soul, you immediately are going to dismiss all the red flags. You're going to dodge all the bullets like you're in the Matrix. You know what I mean? And it just made me think, like, this woman looked extremely bitter. You could see it in her eyes. She was absolutely miserable and bitter, and she looked like a witch, honestly, guys. And I thought, wow, when she was in her 20s, she was probably a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? And look at what's left from that. All right, what's left from all her attractiveness? Nothing, guys. She was an old hag. She was extremely annoying to be around. Like, I spent 20 seconds talking with her, and I already didn't want to see her ever again. Can you imagine what it will be to live with this woman? So look past the looks, the physical appearance. It all fades away. You get with a really attractive woman, there is a pain in the back. She's going to progressively become more of a pain than you see her, than you see right now. Like, these women that are bitter, guys, they just become more bitter with age. You're not gonna fix them. You're not gonna save them. No, they are becoming the witch. Next level up, until they reach their 60s, 70s, and they become the max level witch. Their looks will fade away, and they will be left with nothing but their bitter and distasteful personality. So I'm gonna end on that thought. I know that it seems obvious, don't go solely for looks, but a lot of men fall victim to it. But again, it's just the red flags, guys, are quite easy to tell. And this is why, I'm going to link this story that I told you to the article. This is why this man is to blame. Because some women, they have bitter written on their forehead. They have neon signs with arrows pointing at them that they are a massive red flag. And if you fall for these women more than once, it's your mistake. If you're dealing with these women and all your exes are like these, you have to think that you are the one to blame. But guys, I'm going to leave you off here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I know that my vibrations aren't good enough. Maybe it's because I've been driving all day. Maybe it's because of Mercury retrograde. I have to check with my zodiac sign. But tomorrow I'll have energy. Thank you for being here, guys. I'll see you next time.